So like as long as you can stick it out and see just what's on the other side of it, and as long as you have the will to like pull yourself out, no matter how hard it may be, you got to know on the other side, like it's just that deep. It's equally, if not deeper, on the other side. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Like
I'm about to. This is crazy. All right, welcome everybody to a very special episode of Connection is Magic. Today we have amazing humans in the house who believe in the color green. My man Chris, my man Wolvie, last one left, clothing brand, launching, dope humans from the dirty T-Loke. Did I fuck that
up? Oh my God!
I butchered that shit. I mean,
you can't really fuck it up. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, we believe like wherever you grow up, it shapes you, right? So tell us a little bit about like them day ones in Tucson for us.
Well, I mean, yeah, my day one and his day one in Tucson are different. You know what I'm saying? I just met him in college. He came to Tucson. I was already there. I was serving my sentence. And I was like mid-sentence. I was nearing the end of my sentence. But when I met him, I was nearing the end of it. I moved to Arizona when I was a kid, when I was like 8 or 9. Yeah, and it was like I was from the South, so I was like never seen like a desert like that for real, except on like cartoons. So like, you know, like Wile E. Coyote and
I was just thinking that
Runners.
Bugs Bunny and shit, right?
Yeah, that's where I was like, and like I seen a tumbleweed for real on the road, and I was like, oh shit, like this is a real place. So anyway, when I got there, it was like it was a weird. I remember when I first got there, I was like, this place is weird, you know.
So you're making me think of like when I was in like elementary school, we do like the field trips, right? And I'd be on a long ass bus ride going through these like ghost towns and shit. So you grew up in one of those towns I passed. Like
it's not like I didn't grow up in the ghost town, but like pretty close to. Yeah, like there are some ghost towns around there. You know what I'm saying?
Damn. So what do you do with all that like downtime and shit? Do you go? I mean, what were you?
Well, I mean, you know, when you a kid, like what is downtime?
Right.
Like, you don't go outside.
You're just trying to play, right?
Yeah, like that's it.
You don't feel it till you're older.
Go outside, ride bikes.
Yeah.
You know, play with your friends, make up games.
Yeah.
Imagine stuff.
You don't even realize there's a problem until later.
Yeah, nah, I didn't until later. That's when I realized. I'm like, oh shit. Like I was like, yo, why the fuck am I over here? Like, where are we? And what am I doing here? And like, why does it suck over here?
Why does it suck?
That's when the sentence began.
Specifically in Tucson, Arizona. But the fact that the place actually felt like hell, like weather-wise, it really started to feel like the sentence. And I was like, when am I going to get out of here? Whenever I met him, though, I was fully awake. I was like sedated for a good amount of time, you know.
You just started to come out of it and then you guys meet, right? Or what? No.
I came back to Arizona. I left Arizona and I came back.
And met Wolvie?
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Hit the brakes. I want to talk about like, were you like enough's enough and then you finally like jumped from Arizona, right?
Something happened. I got real fortunate and I went to New York before and I was like, damn, I love New York City. There's something about it. And then I was like, damn, I would love to go back. And then something started happening where before I knew it, I was about to go. I had got this internship for who I thought was a guy named Mark McNary. I was an intern for him. He's a menswear designer, and it was like a hot time. It was like a peak for him. And he was doing a collaboration with Pharrell, BBC Ice Cream. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to go do an internship with this dude, and he's going to be doing this thing with Pharrell, and then, you know, I'm going to be able to see the inside of that too. So when I actually got there, I realized once I got to the office that I was doing the interview and I was actually not going to Pharrell's office or Mark McNary's office. I was actually in Jay-Z's office. The way that it works is like this. Jay-Z, Pharrell, they do a partnership deal in like 2008 or something to where so like BBC Ice Cream can do like more distribution, and then the U.S. headquarters ends up inside of Jay's office, which is also becoming Rock Nation at that time. This is like 2013. So then once I walked in and I seen like, as soon as I walked in, I seen like this big ass Basquiat on the wall, and I was like, yo, and just the size of this office to where it was so big that only like half of it was being used at the time. And I was like, Pharrell not this rich. I know he ain't. There's no way. I was like, yeah, shout out to Skateboard P, but you ain't this rich. I was like, there's no way. There's no way. I was like, you are a great motherfucking producer and artist, but there is no way. And then I'm sitting there, I'm waiting for like the person who's going to interview me, and I look up the hall, and then I kid you not, damn, one day they gonna hear this, but anyway, there's this woman, she looked just like Jay-Z in the face, and she's walking down the hallway, and I swear to God, in my mind, like, you already know me a little bit, so you know I'm funny, I'm like, damn, she looked just like Jay-Z. And then I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, bro, there's no way. Like, she looked just like Jay-Z. Yeah. And then she comes up to me and she just got like this New York energy attitude. And she's like, who are you? And right then, it all started to click. This is Jay-Z's sister. This is Michelle Carter. Like, this is the person that runs this office. She wanted to know why the hell I was sitting in front of her office. And, yeah, so then after that, like, I spent like 3 months there. So this is the time when I was like awakened to like, why am I having these experiences? Why am I meeting these people? Why do they know that I exist?
Bro,
why am I talking to these people?
I feel like we're in a movie right now. The way he set this whole story up is like, you know that movie moment.
This is right. This is the prequel.
And he wakes up and he's like, "Here, we need that middle ground, don't we?" Like,
this is prologue.
But how are we going from tumbleweeds to now you're in Jay-Z's office? Give me the middle there.
It just happened. Like, it just happened.
I knew these guys were dope, but like,
you gotta understand one thing about me is like, as soon as I figure out that I want to do something, or if I figure out that something is my passion or it's my field of interest, that I'm going to go to all ends to figure out every piece of information I can. Because I need to put together the story like as thoroughly as I can to understand this thing. And so like when it came to music, fashion that was inspired by music, specifically hip hop, I needed to know everything. Okay. So it was like these people were like they were the Bible to me. Like these names are the Bible to me. Like that's all I knew or cared to know about, or this only things I wanted to be like. So all
right, so Jay-Z's sister's right there in the office with you. Yeah. And then does Jay come in?
Not that day. Not that day. I'll tell you about the day when I met Jay. Yeah. She's like, oh yeah, like I know why you're here. So then this guy comes up the hall. And this dude, man, like his name is Aaron, and he has some real nice shit on. You know, he has some real nice clothes on. He still smelled a little funny. But has some real nice shit on. No, all of this is important. I'm trying to paint the picture of the person for you, right? I'm trying to paint the picture of the person for you because he's literally like a genius, right? Like I learned this over like the short period of time I knew him. So anyway, he talks to me. He takes me to like this. We walk down the street. We go to the distribution factory down the street. Not the distribution factory, I'm sorry, the manufacturer, where they make all the clothes at. And he's asking me questions he's not expecting me to know the answers to.
But you do know the answers.
I know all the answers to them. Yeah, because I told you I got to know every piece of information. I got to know these. I knew these things already. And then he told me, he was like, yeah, so do you want to do this internship? Because I'm about to give you the credentials. Like, you're going to sign the paperwork. You're going to be here for 3 months. You're going to do this. And I was like, yeah, I'm down. I wasn't inside. Jay has an office inside his office. No, I swear to God, like sense. I never got to go in there. Like you literally, I don't know, but I think there's like a fingerprint scanner outside that
to get into that office.
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, I'm
The
pretty
whole
sure
print.
that's what that device
just-
was, because like you couldn't just walk in there. Nah.
Bruh.
That's crazy.
But
That's
yeah,
crazy.
like during this time,
Yeah.
it was just, I don't know, it was just like
So the
stories
takeaway,
on
the
stories.
takeaway for the listeners is to like know your shit so you could like capitalize on these opportunities. What's the what do you
I
feel
mean,
like you learned and
know
what did you
your-
learn?
Know your shit, but know your path, right? Because like in the point of time, at that point in time, I didn't have a clue, bro. Like literally, I'm in Tucson, Arizona. I just described it to you. There's nothing.
I'm dressed like
So,
Blues Clues today.
You're dressed like Steve from Blues Clues.
Yeah, you never seen it, man.
You never seen him?
I've never even seen Blues Clues, bro. I'm not. I'm
Well, you
missing
gotta
it.
Yeah.
Google it. So, like, there was always this thing inside of me. I think a lot of people in my life told me, like, you're a special person. You're a special kid. I used to always get, you're a special kid. Like, you're a weird, different kid. You know, I knew I was like a smart kid. I was really smart.
But did you always grow up feeling different from other people?
Hell
Did
yeah.
You did, right. Okay.
Yeah. That's the whole point of me telling you Tucson was a big shock to me. Like, I didn't get it.
But wait, low key, because I felt a little different as a kid, but I feel like it sucks when you're that age because like all you want to do, right, is fit in. But then when you get older, you feel like, oh, it's kind of dope that I was different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah. Well, it always makes sense in the end. You know, everything
Hindsight.
always makes sense in the end.
Yep.
You
Yep.
can't make sense of it when you're in it.
Amen. And we
You
talk
know?
a lot about that on the podcast too, because closed doors can fuck us up. We were just talking about that over dinner tonight. Like, like, how do you deal when you said it always makes sense in the end? The first thing I thought of is when we get told no or when the doors close on us, right?
Yeah.
How do you?
How do you react? When you
Yeah.
get a
How do you?
no?
How do you react to that? You know, have you guys
You
come?
think like maybe it's not your time, or like, well, I'm gonna try again. Like they said no the first time. How many times will they say no till I get a yes? You know what I mean? Because they just might say no just because they don't feel like
and
it.
this is coming
know
from
what
a
I
man
mean?
that did vacuum sales. He was told
Yeah.
he
In
went
the
door to
dirty
door.
teeth.
Just for the record, this man got a lot of no's in his
You
life,
know?
bro.
In the dirty tea, man, doing that. Because when I met him, I thought he was from New York.
Yeah.
No, we're
Because
just
I
like,
was
wow.
that
see that.
ingrained into New York. I was
Yeah.
like,
See that?
dude, New York is the best place in the world.
You know?
I got to like know who I was in New York, or at least to know like like where I can go and what I can do. You know, I didn't know how. I didn't have any skills at the time.
So,
you know?
so I think another question that makes sense here is like, we were talking a lot about visualization recently. Like, are you a visualization person? Like, do you see it before it comes into existence?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Pretty much all things.
You do that with
All things that I make,
Yeah.
I see it before. I could draw it for you on a piece of paper.
Including people you want to work with, opportunities. I'm saying, like, do you also
That
visualize
one was
that?
different. That one's abstract for me.
That's abstract.
That one's abstract.
Right.
I don't know how that one works. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I still don't know how that one works.
So the New York thing and it being in Jay's office and shit was an abstract example.
My dad stayed in New York at the time. So when I bought the one-way ticket to go to do this interview, I didn't know if I was going to be there the whole time or if they're going to say no to me.
You weren't thinking I'm gonna go there and meet Jay-Z, is what I'm saying.
Nah,
Okay, right.
nah.
Okay.
I didn't even know if I was going to stay for the whole
Right,
time. That's what
right.
I'm saying.
That's
My dad
That's
was
deep.
just staying there, so like it just worked out. And then actually when I got there, my dad wasn't even there. My
What?
grandmother, his mom ended up getting sick. So he flew back to Orlando, which is where I'm from, where I was born, and to go deal with her. And then so I was just there solo for like the first chunk of time. And I remember just like walking through the streets after I left the office, and I was like, I didn't even think the shit was real. I was like, yo, what the fuck? I didn't call nobody either. I didn't call no one. I didn't even call anyone. I didn't call my grandma
like, can I ask you why didn't you?
because
call
I didn't
anybody?
believe it.
You didn't believe it.
I was like, because you got to understand, you talking about closed doors, bro. Them doors weren't even there. Like those doors were not even there in my life. Like I didn't even know this could happen. Like this is what I'm telling you. Tucson, Arizona has like, bro, you don't know that you can do what you can do when you're there. You don't know.
I would say that's also true about us in life, bro. Sometimes we got innate potential within us that we don't even realize.
Absolutely.
Do you feel me on that?
100%.
Yeah,
Like,
true.
oh, I can
Potential.
do this. Damn, you
Yeah.
know what I
True.
mean?
Yeah.
But when you're a kid, you spend so much time shaping yourself based on things that you see other people doing. And if you never get to see other people doing that thing that you see yourself doing, then you have like no concrete image of self, and you're just like, wait, can I actually do this? Or
Right.
like I'm only allowed to do like whatever
No,
this
that's
like whole normal
That's fucking
lifestyle
beautiful,
is.
man. That's crazy. The universe, man, is
Bro,
is
like
at work
if-
right now. I just gotta
yeah.
share this because like recently, I was at I was at one friend's house for a little event, and then I just went to another friend's house for a little gathering, and these houses were crazy. Okay, these houses were crazy, and I'm like, damn, these houses must be easily like, you know, $5+ mil or whatever. I'm like, people are rocking in houses like this and waking up to this as their daily life.
Yeah.
And you
Absolutely.
start hanging around that energy, and you're like, oh shit,
Absolutely.
maybe
You
this
start
this
trying
is
it
this
out. You
can
see
be
what's
done. You know what I mean?
attainable.
Like,
Yeah.
'cause- yeah.
And you start trying. You start wearing it. You start kind of.
emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah, you try it on for a second. Wolfie, I'm curious about what like I guess like what's your before, kind of like where like what were you doing in the meantime? Kind of like I guess comparing notes to what Chris shared.
Well, I mean,
and like
I was
where does it
born in West
intersect
Philly,
too?
you know, so Fresh Prince, that was always someone was like, oh yeah, West Philadelphia, born and raised, huh? I get that every time.
Yeah.
So going from there, my parents split, moved to the suburbs. I was like 12 years old. So I have like city and like suburbia life like in my DNA. And
I feel that about you, man.
Yeah, so I have like a combination of both. And then college, I was just like, I'm not staying in Pennsylvania. I'm going to Tucson. Just go out to Arizona.
I want to know like how you guys first met.
Yeah, so we had class together. I thought he was from New York. You know what I mean? Because he was like,
Chris
oh,
has
yeah.
New York energy, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah.
and so like being from the East Coast, so I can tell like vibes about people. You know what I mean? Like he's like one of like 5 black people in the class.
Shit.
And so I mean, like, okay, like, and he's like loud too. And so I
He's
was like,
like
damn,
loud,
like,
too.
who's this
Yeah.
guy in class talking about, yeah, I'm not going to be in class for a few weeks. That new GTA came out. So,
Facts.
yeah, he was
That
like,
new
I was
GTA
like,
dropped, and I'm like,
yo.
everybody know, don't expect to see me.
I was like,
I'm
yo.
gonna be at the crib.
And I was like, damn, this guy's a fool. But then I was like, damn, he's real smart. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So it was like,
Yeah.
damn, it's kind of crazy. And then you can always like tell somebody, like when you see somebody at the airport and then you see him like sit next to you, there's a weird energy of like, oh, wow, like I see that person randomly. And then randomly, like I see him again and I see him before they leave. You're like, I wonder.
You start paying attention.
Yeah.
I call
And
that
so,
a wink
like,
from the universe.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
right?
Hell yeah.
So I'd see Chris like walk around, like he's always like the fashion guy on campus, and like I'm always like the different guy. People see me and it's like, yo, what are you? And it's like, you just gotta guess, you know. I don't even know what I am, you know. Both my parents are mixed.
Oh.
You know what I mean? So like I have an idea, but like my mom, she's dark skin complexion but Native American, Puerto Rican. My dad's light skin. My sister and I were both like the same complexion. And so like being from Philly, they're just like, oh, what's up, light skin bull? You know what I mean? Like everybody in Philly is a young bull. You know, Philly has the best vernacular like ever. You
Best.
know? Everything
Wow.
like that's a
Isn't
John.
that
This
John?
is a John.
A
yeah.
John.
Yeah,
A
yeah,
John.
yeah. I
Bro,
love
the
that. I love that.
versatility of the word John.
The John.
Crazy.
It's deep, yeah.
Philly really
I had to put
did
them
that.
on. You know what
Philly
I mean?
really did that.
Like Questlove, a Questlove
Yeah.
John.
Yeah.
Like everything is a John.
A
like,
John,
yo,
bro.
And people
Like, that's
can't
a
not
good
say
John.
John. And so like when I moved out to
Yeah.
Arizona, I was like, yo, you drawing right here. Like they were like, yo, what? Like, yo, you're drawing. And that's like another term, like, yo, you're being out of pocket.
Oh, that,
Yeah,
oh
like,
shit.
yeah, like,
Okay.
you're
Yeah.
tripping
Alright.
right
yeah,
now,
like
you
my
know?
teachers gave me all this homework. She's drawing.
Yeah, she's
You know
drawing.
what I mean? Like, yo, you're drawing right now.
Shit's amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
Philly
so
did
like
that.
I was bringing all these terms and like words out here just because like I just have a creative way with like speaking and talking. So I always had like nicknames for everybody. So I met some guy like named Nate, and I was like, oh yeah, it's Nasty Nate. You know what I mean? Some guy was named Tim, so like, all right, it's Tim Buck too.
Like nobody can have a regular
Yeah,
name.
I can always
feel
get a
you.
nickname for anybody.
Yeah, now we both
You know
give
what I
everybody
mean?
nicknames.
I do
Yeah.
the same thing. That's why we look at each other. That's my
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, I
we
can
give
Like,
everybody nicknames.
It's weird. We
beautiful.
went to like a Waffle House one time, and I was like, that guy looks like a Randy. And sure enough,
Hey, his name was Randy.
His name
Wow.
was Randy.
Yeah.
I was like, let's go. Like, I'm on point. That's another one. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
we were just like hanging out a lot, you know, because Arizona's a party school.
But like you also must have been like, man, do we really vibe here? Were you
listen,
thinking about that?
This is how it happened. I'm gonna tell you when it clicked. Like, okay, when you at college, like Tucson is a college town, right? So when you're in college and you're going to parties, you're just going to parties with a bunch of like kids from everywhere. Mostly, you're going to parties with a bunch of white guys from California.
Yeah.
Okay, so
All
you
the
don't
bros.
really get like the Tucson, bros.
It's funny because Jimmy Iovine's son went to University of Arizona.
Yeah,
Bros
It's funny
wearing
enough,
Vans,
you know,
shorts, and like long socks and skateboarding around like San Diego vibe,
Bro.
LA vibe, and San Francisco
Yeah,
vibe.
these frat
All come
dudes
to-
be looking
all
like they
come to
just got
It's a
Arizona.
lot of bros.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
look like they just got done
All
doing like a
bros.
J.C. Penney catalog. It's mad corny,
shit.
you know what I'm saying? I was like a dude where people would just invite me everywhere. Like I was me, and then also my group of friends that I had also other than him, like we would be invited everywhere. Just because we were just, I don't know, we were just those people. Like people would just be like, no, they're good. Like let them in. Like it's a party, you know? And so we would be
Better than a J.C. Penney catalog. But I'd be like, let him in.
yeah, like basically when me and him started being friends, we were just hanging out, smoking, chilling. Whenever we were at like parties or like we go places, you know, there's like all these bros and they feel like entitled to like their, you know, house or whatever the fuck, and they're like they want to like ask me questions, which like at that point in time I wasn't really the guy for that, because I was definitely gonna like flame you if you look funny to me. So like, and they all look funny to me, so I was like, oh yeah, so like what, we gonna make some jokes about this guy? And then I'm also like, bro, but this is my boy's like brother, and then he's also laughing, and then like everybody's laughing, so it had to become a thing where he would basically be like, yo bro, like he'd be like, yo bro, like chill, like this the homie, like he's like, this the homie, like we're always together, so like if you see me at the party, you're gonna see him at the party, and when he comes through the party, like don't trip.
Because they'll know, like, oh, who do you know here? That's a classic line for
always
all the white
boys.
Oh, who do you know here?
Who do you
bro,
know
who
here?
do you know here? And it's like,
who do you know here? Hey, but now they saying, hey, we
That's
know
like-
him.
that's
it's like,
also
oh,
like-
that's Chris. Like, chill. Like,
But
come on, he's
now,
cool.
what do they say? Oh, we know him.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what it
around.
was.
Yeah, like, oh, we know him.
Who do you know here? Turn
Back-
oh yeah,
back then they
we know him.
Yeah. I actually had like the white boy parties, and like, God, they're playing the worst EDM music. Now they'll always get on the mic or like play Chief Keef. And I had so many kids loving Chief Keef.
Yeah,
that were
You
not
like turn
supposed
them on to it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
For
we were
sure.
turning people on to mad stuff.
Yeah,
like
when
that
I-
was one of the other things we clicked on. Like we were uncovering sounds like way before a lot of people. Bro.
Way before things.
Like
got
I remember,
lit.
I put the whole house on Bobby Shmurda.
Yeah, yo, that
Literally, I
dance
came
he
through
did.
one day. I was like, "Yo, watch this."
Throw the hat off. Stuff.
And when he did the dance,
video so
and then
good.
he threw the hat,
man.
I was like,
So good.
I was like, "Yo, watch, he's about to blow."
Yeah.
And then, sure enough, I was listening to like, bro, Metro Boomin had like 10,000 listens on SoundCloud. I was like, "Yo, this dude's fire."
Yeah, Metro.
Who else?
Called out
I
Travis
love
Scott.
McConan.
Yeah, McConan.
Yo, Travis
Yeah.
Scott mad early. I met Travis Scott in Jay's office when nobody knew who he was, not even the people in Jay's office. And I was like, yo, you guys don't know who he is? He about to be fired. The theme of my life in Arizona, we got to get back to why I'm even having the attitude of like, I'm serving a sentence. Bro, my life was fucked up in Tucson. For no reason. Not because I was doing fucked up things. It was all out of my control. It was all things which it had nothing to do with my decisions. It just was like the hand. You feel like it was the hand. And I was like, in my mind, I was like, there's no way out of this. My mother is spiraling out of control. Addiction, mental health disorders, just family is dysfunctional, falling apart because of that. I'm watching my family just like get ripped apart. Like, bro, I watched this shit for years. I watched this shit since I was 12 years old. I watched it unfold. I watched my mom go to rehab 100 times. 100, I'm not exaggerating to you. Like, I seen her go 100 times. I seen her get clean, sober for years, start life over, get married. I had a sibling, and then go back, spiral. And then at this time now, like once the cycle repeats a couple times, now I'm a man. So then my role in all of this changed. And for some reason, somehow this shit starts to become my responsibility, that I gotta go save somebody. I gotta go make sure that she's all right. I gotta go pick her up from random people's houses. I'm not understanding what's going on, right? I'm not understanding how I can make a living in Tucson, Arizona, because I'm like, even if these people wanted to, they can't support me the way I need to be supported to like have this life that I know that I'm supposed to live, you know? Wolvie is leaving.
I took
Arizona.
2 bags on a Greyhound, and I was like, well, I'm out of here. You know, I need to like make it in LA.
He found a way to get out of Tucson and do something he thought he was passionate about. HipHopDX is like a big hip hop blog. So he thought like, okay, I'm going to make some connects out here.
I'm going to go out here and make some plays.
LA?
Yeah, it was in LA.
Okay, it's
in
here.
Hollywood,
okay.
yeah.
All right.
So I was meeting like RZA, Denzel Curry. I met like great artists and like A&R. And so I was getting paid like maybe $150 a month. So like I wasn't going to do it. And I was going from Playa del Rey to Hollywood.
Oh, wow.
By Uber and train. I had no car.
So for anyone listening, that is how many minutes away?
90.
There you have it.
You know? That's about 90 minutes, you know what I mean? So it was Ubered. So like I was hustling everywhere I could. Like I was selling trees. I had these cartridges that like my friend's dad owned the company of. So I was like selling these pens, and I was sending them out there, just making sure that like everyone can eat. We can make sure that we can get this bread up.
I then started making clothes, right? When he left, making clothes. I started doing these pop-ups. I used to do these pop-ups in Tucson. When I was a huge Gucci Mane fan. Gucci Mane got out of jail, and I was like, I'm finna have these like Gucci Mane parties where like we're gonna make merch and people are gonna come hang out. We had like ice cream trucks. You could get tattoos. That's
fire.
I did like 3 different storefronts in like 6 months. So this is where like that thing starts coming to life, right? And then at the end of that, some stuff just went down, and then I just felt like I kind of like felt like betrayed. Like this whole friend group that I had, I felt like they weren't really my friends. So then like I pretty much like broke off from everybody. That's when Last One Left started, but it was just known as one off recycled garment project. The tagline was always Last One Left. Just recently, like in the last 2 years, we started just calling it Last One Left, like the brand.
So tell us about what Last One Left means to you for the listener.
So basically, I was just trying to figure out a way to create something where people feel like I connect with this possession in a way that's deeper than I go to the mall, I buy something because I want to wear it tonight, and I'm going to get rid of it later, right? I'm trying to connect people to their possessions in a way where they can see themselves some way in this possession. Wolvie was there actually when I came up with the idea.
Yeah, we were thrifting.
Yeah, I would go to thrift stores, and one day it just occurred to me. I said, damn, what if you just take shirts that are, this is like 2017.
Even before
2016, that. 2016, I came up with the idea. And then I said, what if you just take all these shirts that already have a bunch of stuff on them and then just put logos on top of them? Then none of them will be the same. But if they say the same thing, then like, it's a brand. So then I started to do it. And then I had been thrifting. So I had a bunch of cool clothes. Like I had a bunch of cool t-shirts. Like,
which,
really
by the way, that's a whole conversation, thrifting.
Yeah, thrifting.
Because that was fucking crazy. You said some people go like fucking 5:30 in the morning, and it's like fucking the Super Bowl in there. People are pushing each other out of the way, trying to get like
do that,
right?
Yeah.
And some of those shirts are like $600.
Yo,
people just throw.
There's an energy in thrifting. There's an energy. There's a. You can't. I don't know how to explain it with logic, but there's this thing. There's this karma within the thrifting game, and it's because you're creating karma really quick. You're compounding.
Isn't that shit fascinating?
You're compounding karma really quickly, right? Like if you go every day.
Go into that though. What do you mean by that?
You
exactly?
So you go into these places. You go into these places where everybody is I noticed it even more when I moved to LA, but I noticed it before that too. you go to these places where the same people go every day, right? So you start to know people, the same people, you see the same faces. So you start building like this community because you see the same faces. Everybody's trying to buy clothes. At this point in time, a lot of people were buying clothes because like they loved it, but also they were trying to sell clothes. And then like there was only a few people I knew that were really like hustling, like flipping and making like money off of clothes at this point in time.
Yeah.
Now, what I mean about like your compounding karma is like, you see your boy in there and like it's good vibes. Yo, what's good? Like everybody's dapping up. Everybody is like, yo, like good luck, you know, like we're in the bins. So
I love
bins,
that. Good luck.
The bins
You're in the
different.
field, man. Like,
Yeah, the bins is different.
Good
So if you
hunting.
ever been to the bins, it's by the pound. You dig through these bins. You know, you're literally fighting little nanas and shit to try to get like cool stuff, whatever. So it's basically, you know, it's like a little competitive, obviously, because you want to get the fire shit, but also if it's your boy, you want them to get some fire shit too. Yeah. Because you never know who's about to bless you because they know what you like. Like, hey, bro, look, I just found this over here. Take this. And then that's how you start compounding.
Also, it's like a community there.
Yeah, you start building this community. And then it turns into this like manifestation thing where there's like a bunch of people in like the thrifting community that can attest to this. You will literally say like, damn, bro, you remember And One t-shirts? This happened to me and him.
Yeah.
This is one example. We're like, yo, you remember And One t-shirts? Those shirts was crazy. Like, we need to find some And One t-shirts. Next time we were in the bins, we pulled like 3 out in the same day. We start watching Survivor t-shirts just start coming. And then so like, and then our other homies are saying the same thing. Like, yo, sometimes I'll just think about like a shirt and then it'll just pop up.
Crazy.
And then it's crazy because like it be happening like to a lot of people. And so there's like some type of like
phenomenon.
Do you think there's like
there's some type of like energy in there.
Vortex
it's crazy. Yeah,
there.
It's crazy.
Like or like a portal. You're there and instant manifestation.
For
I
sure.
love the way you said that.
Got you.
Like a portal there.
Yeah, like a vortex or a portal for sure.
Yeah.
And you feel like it's from all like the love of your
well,
community.
Well, that's the best way I could explain it.
That makes
you know,
sense
and
to
the
me.
persistence of the showing up and like hoping for something good.
Because there's days you can get like, oh, I didn't get nothing.
You can have an off day and get shit,
have a trash
right?
day.
And
Everybody,
get-
nobody
you gotta
hit.
keep going.
Nobody
Like, yo,
hit.
There's nothing in
Everybody's
there.
like, man,
You're
today
just, like,
sucks.
Throwing
All right.
things down. Things are dusty.
This is what I needed to hear.
Yeah, and then you see somebody like pull out like a Jordan shirt. And you're like, oh man, like what the fuck?
Pull out something crazy, like something
Yeah.
dope, like Earth, Wind, and Fire tour T-shirt, and you're like, God damn, bro, like you just you hit
so
crazy today.
Yeah.
But it's cool though that a place like that should be so competitive has turned out to be such a supportive place where you're finding community.
Yeah.
Because if everybody, I mean, typically in any space where everyone shows up wanting to do the same damn thing and there's only a limited supply of that thing, it's like a bloodbath. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like
That's
in
it.
some way. So
It still is.
So it's
There
interesting.
Still is in some ways, but like when you are cool with who you're cool with, you don't even really like feel that. You're just like,
yeah. But it's
right.
cool though that you guys have found that in a space where it could easily be so competitive and people are it's like a commune, like, oh, do you need this? Like, here you go. Like, but maybe that's why the manifestations are happening so quickly because everybody's looking out for each other. Is that what you mean by the compounded karma? Got you.
For sure.
That makes sense.
Okay, so wait, something I gotta do real quick, cause I want to make sure we cover this. We missed it. You met Jay-Z's sister, but you said you had a Jay-Z story for us back in the intern days or whatever.
I got multiple Jay-Z stories.
But the one that stands out, because remember you were gonna come back. You're like, I'm gonna come back to that in a minute, and it just occurred to me that like we never even got to it. Yeah,
I'll tell you the craziest.
Okay, right.
So I told you I'm staying with my dad. My dad is like really cool dude. Like anybody to meet my dad is like, they're just like, yo, he's super cool. So everybody vibes with my dad. He ends up being friends with these dudes. They're like club promoters and they do like one of the best like hip hop parties in the city. So I would be able to just go to these parties any night of the week.
In New York.
And at the time there was this club, it was called Kiss and Fly. It's in the meatpacking district. It's like, it was a cool parties on Wednesdays. Probably the best one. All right. Emory Jones, for anybody listening to the podcast who knows who Emory Jones is, this is Jay's friend. He took a charge, you know, he did about 12 years. This is 2013 is the year that he got out, right? Questionably, he might have done that time for Jay. But anyway, whatever. He gets out, and so like I see him every day, and I talk to him all the time, because he's cool like that. And he was like, "Yo, what's that club you guys go to on Wednesdays?" And I'm like, "Oh, you talking about Kiss and Fly? Like, what you know about that? Y'all don't go to clubs. Like, what are you talking about?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's the one." And he tells me, he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna bring Jay there tonight." And I'm like, "All right, cool. Like, you got my number. Like, text me if you want. Like, I'll be there." I was already gonna be there. Like, and then he's like, "All right, cool." So we're in Kiss and Fly. We're at the club. It's like 1:30. You know, the club stays open till like 4. So really, like, the party is just about to get started. Now, this is the reason why this story is crazy, bro. Because New York it's got a loud attitude. It's got a loud energy as far as like the people go in there. Like, everybody feels like they're a celebrity. Everybody feel like they're somebody. And so like the personalities are loud. So when you're in the club, like, it just feels like this. You're just like in this like show of like all these different, like, you know, you got the fashion people in there, you got the like video vixens in there, you got the dope boys in there, you got the rap dudes in there, you got the athletes in there, you just got, you know, the dudes that just have all the chicks in there. The club is just shut. They close the doors, like, not letting anybody in. And we're like, okay, Jay must be here. So Jay walks in, like 3 Maybachs pull up outside. Jay comes in, Beyonce's with him, Emery's with him, J. Cole's with him. Nobody cared that J. Cole's with him because Beyonce's in there. Like, yo, literally, like, we saw J. Cole and nobody was like, "Oh, there go J. Cole." Like, nobody, like nobody was like even like
That's funny.
flinched at J. Cole, but it was like, yo, Jay-Z is in the club in New York. And like, as I looked around, like, the music is playing, like, everything, but it just felt so quiet in the club because I could feel like everybody was like, "Damn, bro, this is Jay's, like, this is Jay. Like, we're in New York and this is Jay. We're in New York City. This is Jay-Z in the club." To the point where Jay-Z even feels it. And he's like, they bring a bottle of champagne to his table and he's like telling the DJ, he's like, "Yo, what's up? Like, turn the music up. Like, play this shit. Like, don't put the spotlight over here on me. Like, do what you do in the club." And I mean, women are literally, bro, jumping over each other just to like get a selfie with Beyonce and shit. Like, maybe Beyonce's in the corner of this selfie. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
Like, this is a different type of energy. This isn't like, this is past celebrity. And you start to understand that this is the next level of like legendary, like, living on earth people, you know? And when I saw it, it was just like, damn, seeing Jay-Z in a club is one thing that I thought I'll never see, obviously. Seeing Beyonce in a club, another thing I thought I'd never see. But the fact that I came from the office earlier that day and I already knew that they were coming. And then I like observed like all of these people who usually you couldn't tell them shit were just like, bro, they were quiet. They were sitting down. Some people were just like, to see the loudest people, the loudest personalities in the room just like chill.
You guys were on a show called Fake Famous.
I was on a show.
Sorry, you were on a show, right? HBO documentary, Fake Famous.
Yeah, he was on there for a minute.
And I saw you a little bit in there too.
Yeah.
It's on HBO.
Tell him, Sam. So
Yes.
what's it about?
Okay. So it's called. It's called Fake Famous, and they basically pick out 3 people, right? Wasn't it 3?
Social
3.
experiment.
Yeah, social experiment. 3 people. And at the time, the following wasn't that crazy, and they were like, "All right, we're gonna like buy a bunch of followers and feed them an audience, right?"
Yeah.
And I just want to say this. We'll come back to it because this shit was like the fucking funniest thing I've ever heard. One of the comments on this guy Chris's thing from like the bots that they got on his page were like, "We love you so much. You're the #1 influencer." That shit was hilarious to me, bro. Okay, so can you comment on that comment real quick, Chris, and how that made you? How did that make you feel, bro?
It was just so embarrassing to see like. Y'all thought that you could like put this thing like on my page, which is a public page, and like I wasn't gonna notice like these comments. Like, this is the corniest comment.
But they weren't bothered by it, I thought, but you were. right?
Yeah,
they were
'cause I
like,
was
what do you
like,
mean? We got you
who?
comments.
I was like, who?
Part of the system.
Who are y'all talking about? Like, what is
so
this?
funny to
Like,
me.
why, bro? Like, no. I was like, delete this shit. This is embarrassing. Like, I'm the #1 influencer. Like, yo, what the fuck are you talking about?
Right. What does that
bro?
mean?
Huh?
It's like, what does that mean?
Yeah, what does
that actually mean?
Like,
Exactly.
Like, you feel like you know what it means, but then the
Yeah.
more you chew on it, you're like, no, I actually have no idea. What
I
that
don't
means.
get
like,
it.
you're the
Right.
#1 influencer. Like, yo, shut up.
Yeah, bro.
Well,
shut
we said
up.
it right there. Yeah.
Delete your profile, bro.
First of all, where were you when you got the call? Like they hit you up, I assume, right? Or did you hit them up?
Nah, no. I didn't hit them up. What happened is we have a mutual friend. We got friends that work in film and do all this stuff, write shows, whatever. And when I got out here, I started to get connected with this group of people. And then they would watch me on my Instagram. And they were like, I had one friend, her name's Gianna. She does the casting for like Blackish and like, anyway, she's like, yo, you got to be on TV. I'm going to get you on TV. I'm going to make sure you on TV. She literally brings me to an audition, and I do an audition where I read a script, and then she hits me back 2 days later, and she's like, oh my God, like, I got a promotion because of you. And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, they loved you. And I was like, well, did I get the part? She was like, no. I was like, oh, okay, word, right? So, you know, this is like over at like Warner Bros, like big studio, whatever. And but then she was like, but look, I think I have something perfect for you. And I was like, okay, explain. And she's like, my friend's working on this show where it's like a social media show. And like, because you talk so much shit on Instagram, maybe it'll be perfect for you. And then I was like, cool, what do I got to do? She was like, come to my house. We gonna chill. I'm gonna ask you these questions. I'm gonna make you a self-tape. She did all the work for me.
Wow.
I never knew what a self-tape looked like. I don't know any of that. So then I got the call back. And then when I got to the call back, I was in the audition room, right? And I'm like, damn, it's probably like 6-7 people in this little ass room. Everybody is mad, like tense and like nervous. And I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Didn't you hear? I was like, didn't y'all hear we're not acting today? Didn't you hear that this is the real you?
Yeah.
And I realized, hey, people are the most nervous to show who they really are in front of a, you know, whoever, in front of a camera,
That's
especially.
a bar.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting in there and I'm not understanding why everybody's so tense. So I'm in there like, I see this girl and she got a guitar and I'm like, and she looks mad exotic too. I'm like, who the fuck is this girl? So I'm like, hey, what's up? Like, yeah, I'm like, who is this girl with this girl? I'm like, oh, what's up? Why you got a guitar? You finna play them a song? And she's like, yeah, I make music. I'm like, okay, cool, word. Play me a song. I put her on the spot in the audition room, and she's like, actually, like, real, like, okay. She starts playing me a song. So I'm sitting there, she's singing and shit, playing the guitar around all these people who are nervous as shit. They're like reading this piece of paper over and over again. And I'm just having a great time. I'm like, yo, this is tight. Like, this is lit, you know? And then I look up and there's like 3 cameras looking at me. And I was like, yo, hold up. I was like, yo, who are y'all? Like, I stopped. I was like, yo, who are y'all? Like, we're not even in there yet. Like, what are y'all doing? And then they're like, this lady come up to me, and it's also crazy. I'm saying this for the first time. This lady that came up to me at the audition, I never seen her again. So I don't know who the fuck she was. But she was like, she literally told me, she was like, yeah, we've been waiting for you. And I was like, all right, whatever. Keep playing the song. So I wanted to hear the end of the song. I go into the audition room, and this is the, I guess, hook, line, sinker, whatever. They're like, yo, what's up? Do you think, they were like, do you want to be famous? And I'm like, no, but I deserve to be famous. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, because if you hear my story of how I'm here right now, then you would think that it deserved to be famous. And then that's when they were like, all right, we're putting him on.
Wow.
But I never really showed them who I actually was until after I signed the contract, because I was playing the cards. Because I was like, nah, I just came from this place where I didn't never think that this was possible. I'm in another one of these situations. So this time I'm like, wait, there's actually like a platform and a check riding on just the fact of me being here. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. Like, they're going to probably think I'm down to do whatever. And then by the time we signed the contract and I'm like, I'm in there and I know, I'm like, yeah, I'm in this bitch. Like, now I'm about to show you who I really am. And that's why there's like a perception that like I dropped out of the like social experiment. But like I never dropped out. Like I was in contact with the producers and everybody like every day. Like,
why did they think you dropped out?
Well, it seems that way because they didn't know what to do with me. So basically, I made it hard for them. We're not even going to talk about this story. I've been around star power my whole life. My whole bloodline, star power, energy. You feel me? My first neighbor in my whole life was DJ Khaled, bro. My first neighbor. You feel? Like, this fool hung out at my grandma's house.
Wow.
First time he had jerk chicken was at my grandma's house in the hood.
Wow.
Where she still lives. Star power. You feel? I don't want to be famous because I know what it feels like to be famous. My uncle's Moses Malone, bro. Rest in peace. I seen the way that the media rip apart the shit. You know? I don't want to be famous, but I put myself on front line just to be able to say, all right, this is how you got the right to just be you. You can be you and be famous. You don't have to do all of this shit. You don't have to do all of this fake shit. You can be you. I'm basically like, look, I'll take all the bullets.
Yeah.
Just so y'all know that you can be you and still just shine as bright as you want to shine. That's the point.
I love this.
Yeah.
That's the whole point, bro. That was the point of me saying that. No, I don't want to be famous. I want to be rich. Y'all rather be more famous than rich. I'd rather be more rich than famous.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, I don't care, you know? But because the caliber of person that I am, I know people are going to know who I am and admire that. But the fact of why am I here? Why? Because you guys got to hear the story of a person who didn't even believe himself that he was supposed to be here. But every time and time again, he's here. Somebody finds out. Whatever is special about you is what you're going to find when you really dig deep and search within. If you decide to alter that and change that in any way for, clout or like to climb the social ladder, so to speak.
It's not going to work.
It might work to an extent. But if it's not the real you, then it's not gonna go as far as it can go.
It's like a soul sacrifice.
It's gonna end. It's gonna end when the shit run out.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers can't be the character forever.
Yeah, exactly.
You feel?
And also just like in terms of like looking at it from like a universal or spiritual or metaphysical perspective, is like we're all connected to each other. And we're all connected to everything in the universe and all possibilities. And it's like the minute you try to change what is naturally within you, you go against the natural flow of what the universe is doing. So like no matter how you slice it, it'll never work. It's like going up an escalator that's going up and trying to run down. You know,
you can't run from yourself.
You're not supposed
to. You can't run from yourself.
Yeah, no, you're only supposed to want to be you. You feel me?
Right.
I'm not.
But like you got all these different things pulling on you to be something else sometimes, right?
That's the challenge.
Whether it's like society, whether it's your family or what, right?
Yeah,
that's the
challenge. You see what's popular. You see like, all right, well, this TikTok video is trending. I gotta do this to get up there.
Dance.
I gotta do this. I have to do something that's not really me and do that. And so like I can trend by being myself and doing what I like, and then I can be the one that people want to be like.
The last thing is we have this running joke about these guys think I'm super LA, which is fucking hilarious. Like, this whole show today, the whole ethos of the show is like anti-LA in some ways. It's about being real and fucking just like letting it all out there. So I thought that shit was comedy, bro. They were supposed to come to the studio today. He hit me a bunch of times. He's like, "Yo, what's up? Is this interview happening or not?" Or whatever, like whatever you were thinking.
Yeah.
And then I went to like be with my family for like an extended period of time, and like. He's like, this interview's not really happening. And I'm like, no, bro, like it's happening.
Like, yo, he's on some LA shit.
It's just like so funny to me, bro. The only thing that's LA about the show is the fucking colors and the fucking sign. But outside of that, like I'm about that real shit. So just for the record, I just want to say
sir.
that.
Yeah, for the record,
We support
Real,
you.
real one on the
Absolutely.
record.
Thank
I
you,
feel
bro.
like you had to make peace with
We
that.
support y'all.
Yeah.
Hey, real recognize real.
We appreciate
Right.
you,
No.
yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's like it's so dope because when we met, I was just like, man, there's something about these guys that is just that's so cool when that happens in life because that doesn't happen every day, at least not for me. When you're out here in LA, doing your thing, trying to like, come up, you come up with a lot of closed doors, a lot of resistance, that whole thing, and a lot of people that are listening are on some type of creative path. So I just like passing on wisdom, and each person that sits across from me, right, has had their own experience. They've been knocked down certain ways, and they've learned from it. Do you guys have any wisdom to share?
Yeah, I'd say be relentless because I never like give up. I consistently don't give up. I've been a kid and I've been told like, yeah, he doesn't stop. You know what I mean? That's like the pursuit of like, well, didn't work. Well, so what? You know what I mean? Don't cry about it. Don't be down on yourself and say like, oh, why me? Why play the victim where you can be the hero?
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Why play the victim when you can be the hero?
Yeah, that's a
Okay,
bar.
that's a tough act to follow, Chris. I don't know. All right, go ahead. Like, what have you learned personally about this?
What have I learned personally is first of all, don't take anything personal when you're out here trying to do all that. When you're trying to make these connections and you think this person got your back and you think this person is gonna, give you this shout out or put a good word in for you and it doesn't happen, don't take it personal. First thing that I learned personally, don't take it personal because all these people ain't out here for you, for real. All these people are really out here for themselves because they're all trying to get to the same spot that you trying to get, and that's to the top. But the number one thing is like, when you know that you're going to be whatever you're going to be, don't let nobody or anything change that opinion that you have of yourself in your mind. Do not. At all costs, protect the good opinion of yourself in your mind at all costs. If you feel like somebody is threatening that, if somebody is like shitting on you or like trying to make you think that you're less of the person that you are, when you know you're sturdy, when you know you're a good person, you know you're valid, do anything you have to like break away from them. Because as long as you can believe it and you can see it, you're going to get there. You don't know when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen, but you're going to get there. So you can't give up on the vision of self. It's all about yourself. It's all about the way that you view yourself. It's not about the way that these other people see you.
It's really you just versus
It's
you, right?
It's
you versus you.
It's Chris versus myself. That's
Isn't
what
that
I'm
your
telling
handle?
you. That's
Yeah.
me.
That's
Bro,
why I
that's
said
fucking
it.
crazy.
That's why I thought you were saying it.
Yeah, that's why.
I thought you were
No, I
saying
was
that.
not
Licks.
saying it because
That's
of that.
crazy.
That's exactly
Yeah.
what it is. That's why
Whoa.
Fight Club is my favorite
Yeah,
movie.
he's hit.
Whoa. That just hit me
That's
like
why
real
Fight Club-
heavy.
yeah,
I
that's
had
why-
no idea.
Yeah.
That's why
about
Fight
that.
Club's my favorite movie. He was fighting himself the whole time.
He was fighting himself the whole time, man. That shit is deep.
That reminds me to like be careful like of who you tell your dreams to.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
Or telling them at all.
like, that part.
Put-
Like
in a
I said,
book.
don't take it
Yeah.
personal.
Nah.
Don't take it personal.
And then people miss shit all the time, which
Yeah.
is crazy. Do you see yourself, being bitter at some of the people that slept, or bitter with, or not at all?
No, hell
No?
no. I'm
It's
not
just
bitter.
like their ignorance.
Yeah.
They'll learn one day because you have to do more motivation to
Bro,
make them like they
yeah,
may
you
get
gotta
it.
see me in a situation where I feel like they don't get it. You know,
Explain.
I think it's hilarious. I think it's funny.
When this happens. Yeah.
I've got a video in my phone, and I'm going to save it until the day that it needs to be posted.
Yeah.
I walked in the office for the fake famous so we could sign the contracts and get all of that things going. Okay. I walked in there and I told them, the assistant producer, I told her, I ain't even going to say her name, but I told you. I said in 10 years, you're going to tell everybody you discovered me. You're going to tell everybody you was the first people that got to have me on a camera and get to see who I really am. I'm giving you the greatest story that you're going to have to tell. And I said, that's the only promise I can give you. That's my greatest gift to you. 10 years later, you're going to be saying like, yeah, we seen him first. We touched, we touched him first, you know? And they laughed. Bro, they're laughing, and so I take out my phone. I'm like, oh, so it's funny. So I'm like, wait a minute. Tell everybody why you laughing. Tell everybody why you're laughing. Like, this is my personality. I'm like, nah, you're on blast. Like, let's go.
Yep.
Keep the same energy when the camera's out. Tell them. So you don't think in 10 years, well, if you don't think that this is true, then you must be thinking I'm going to be dead in 10 years. Because as long as I'm alive, it's truth. It's going to happen. You feel?
So that's the thing, like, belief generates the confidence in yourself, and that goes through your body for the will.
Oof.
Say that again.
Really nice. Yeah. Say it again.
Say that
So, like,
again.
the belief generates the confidence for the will. You have the confidence,
Yep.
and then you have that will, and then the action.
Go after it, yeah.
Then it's a cycle.
Yeah.
That
You have the
was
vision, and then you
perfect,
can
yeah.
go through it, and then, all right, I'm about to do this.
It's like it's the fuel in your gas tank.
Exactly.
Is what it
Because
is.
who else but you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What would you say to people that struggle with belief, that belief part?
Think about why you're not believing, and is that true?
Yeah.
It's all mindset. So if you're going to be negative, you're going to go down in a hole.
That's right.
But if you're going to be positive, you can get up.
How do you guys shift a belief? Like, I'm sure you've had stubborn beliefs that were not healthy or happy. Or
You got to check yourself. You got to check it, realize what's going on with your mind, and say, why am I in this? Why am I thinking like this? Can I think better? And then that switch is just like that.
You got to be more fearless and be more disciplined with yourself.
Discipline's huge.
If you want to reach that next level, right? It's literally like as soon as I start to feel a negative way about myself or my ability, I'm going to put myself in a situation, or the situation is finna come up. More than often lately, the situation just comes to me.
But before you would kind of manufacture a situation.
Yeah,
to put
I
yourself
would
in?
literally put myself in a situation where I'm like, I'm going to do this alone. I'm going to see if I can do it. I'm going to see if I can handle this.
So it's kind of like belief training.
Yeah,
like getting out of your comfort zone too.
Yeah, the
You know what
comfort
I mean?
zone
And,
has to
like,
be
take,
broken.
Take that leap. Take that leap and see, like, how hard is it going to be when you fall?
Chris, who's helping us so graciously with the camera work right here, he was talking about he said this thing where he was doing some videos for a rapper, you know, and he's like, you know, the guy wanted to wait to put the videos out, you know what I'm saying? And just chill. But, you know, when you put them out, you grow through that process, he was saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You kind of got
Vulnerability.
Yeah. Oh, that's literally what
Yeah.
you said when we were talking about the story. That's
Vulnerability
amazing.
is the only
Are we seeing the crazy connection here? Connection is
we're all
confidence.
connected.
only
like,
path
we're
to
not-
growth is vulnerability.
Only path to growth is vulnerability.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, this is my
You ain't
favorite
gonna grow if you
conversation.
don't make
Yeah.
yourself vulnerable.
Yeah.
Is this hitting you right here?
Oh, no,
Okay.
I'm in my sweet spot right now. The
Yeah.
vulnerability talk, yes.
Vulnerability is the key.
Yeah.
That's part of the confidence too, to let yourself be that and be able to take all that in and not giving a fuck about it.
Right.
You know, like, this is me, I'm gonna do it. That's the vulnerability of it. And then you feel like, well, what's so wrong about that? And people see you're like, oh damn, like he's showing his whole self. And so that's
Right.
more influence and confidence that people see and like, oh yeah, like I'm doing this. Now I don't care. Who cares?
What helped me get there too was I had, you know, like the saying like ego death or whatever.
Oh yeah.
I was like real attached when I was like working at Interscope and I was like doing that shit. I was so attached and I was like, it's got to look this way. And I was like all up in my ego and shit.
Yeah.
And then when everything crashed, that's when I started not give a fuck and
Fight
just
Club.
fucking and
Fight Club.
that's
bro.
some Fight Club shit.
Yeah. Remember his apartment
Oh,
explodes?
thank you. Yes, man. I
Yeah.
haven't seen the movie in like 15 years. But
Sure.
yes, I remember that. And then he got this whole new life. That's literally what happens. But it's so scary going through that transformation. You know what I mean?
It is.
Real talk. I just heard this the other day. This was kind of deep. But they talked about the difference between like a pond and a river. Like a pond is dirty. Like it's stagnant. There's no flow to it. A river's clean, bro. That shit's moving.
it's
water
going.
always
That
goes
shit's
through it.
moving,
It's
right? A
consistent,
pond
yeah.
is fucking
It's
dirty.
flowing. Yeah, a pond
And
is-
we're
a pond
70%
sits there.
water. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we gotta
Yeah, that's
move.
so true.
So you can sit there and get dirty and not do nothing, or you can keep moving and start flowing.
That's what it is.
Exactly, that's it. And do you guys feel like you're really okay with being witnessed in the in between? You know, like maybe you're,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying by that? You know,
Because people who
Yeah.
are seeing you do that can say like, "Oh, I saw him when he was just this, and now he's grown to this."
Yeah, more
now.
people admire you.
this
More
keeps
people
going.
admire you than you
we
think.
were just saying that
Yeah.
literally
Yeah.
before you guys
Creators.
got here.
More people,
Yeah.
more people admire you than you think, or than you know.
Mm.
You know, especially when, like, for me, like, to have the platform now that I have, which is, it's not even like huge, but now there's like so
But people
many
really fuck with it, I feel like.
Yeah, there's
right?
people. There's so many people I don't know, I never met, and they're literally just like watching me, and they're just
Yeah.
waiting.
Yeah.
They're like, bro, I know it's in there.
Yeah.
They're just like, I know, and I'm here for it whenever it drops.
I love that.
You know,
And they're gonna be able to say as that shit grows, I was one of the first
Later,
adopters
yeah,
and all that.
exactly.
People love being that. People love being the scout.
This is mad
Come on,
weird.
man.
We are
I've-
having a cycle of another
you
conversation.
know,
yeah,
I
no,
found
it
the
comes full
talent,
circle.
It always
We were
does.
just talking about how I was putting people on all these music
Wow.
artists that nobody knew.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like
What a trip.
that was something
Yep.
that I like. At that point in time, I took pride in it because I was like, well, I don't know how you guys don't know because it's just on the internet, like it's public information.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, well, shit. I
Shouldn't have
guess,
like that.
I guess I must be a special one to know to introduce y'all to it, and you guys think it's super dope, you know.
Yeah.
So like, it's a special spot to be in to watch somebody grow. So you got to give those people that. You're also giving people energy. You're giving people inspiration. You're giving people. You're giving people something to look forward to.
Right.
You know, it's tough
That's
for
a good
you when
looking
you're
at it.
in the moment.
Yeah.
Like,
right
and the
there.
bigger the person is, like, really, 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 the bigger the perception of yourself is in your mind, the harder it is.
I keep thinking of the Genius documentary.
I
a little bit.
noticed
Like,
some-
did Kanye know? You've seen the documentary.
No,
right?
Kanye knew.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
He
that's why
knew.
he was so angry with the people. I feel like in the. You remember
The
that, right?
interview?
There's like some scenes in Genius where he's like, you don't get like,
I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
oh, you got to watch it.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
watch it when I
pretty
need it.
inspirational.
Yeah,
I'm gonna watch it when I need it.
I've been saving it.
Yeah. He has been because he knows the whole story in and out.
I know so many
You know
things.
what
I
I
know
mean?
so much shit about him, bro. I was interning for the same people who was working for him
Right. Right.
too. So like, I know a lot of stories.
So what do you
like,
say? I'm gonna watch it when I need it. You mean when you're feeling a down day, you're gonna grab it, or what? What do you mean? Yeah.
It's just like sometimes there's something I need to see. There's something I need to sit down. I need to watch it. I need to read it. I need to digest some type of information to basically turn the key like this and make that
you
shit
talk about
turn
unlocking
over.
all the time, bro. What is going on right now,
Yeah,
bro?
so literally,
I
like,
quit.
you got, like, it's
Oh my
literally
God.
sometimes, like, I'll just know sometimes, like, I'm, like, right there with, like, this idea or something,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, I just need something. Like, I just need something.
Yeah.
Like, I just need to be fed something real quick. And then it'll just do it for me.
My frame of reference is always unlocking
Yeah.
in general.
We think that's like synonymous with breaking the code.
Yes, I've heard it.
About
I've heard
cracking
it.
the
Cracking the
code.
code.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
heard of people
cracking the
putting it
code.
that way.
That's
Crack
what
the
it-
And you could say, oh, that person's cracked the code, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
cracked the code. He's got it.
You know what I
Not-
just heard on this the other day is a nice quote on it that said, pain pushes until the vision pulls.
Damn.
Oh,
Have
That's
you heard
amazing.
that? That shit
Ah,
was
I like
fire.
that, yeah.
So like the pain of being in Arizona pushed you out of there, like, man, and then
Yeah, my-
the vision
my
gets
saying-
clear. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Exactly,
Yeah.
My
yeah.
saying
yeah.
for myself is always put the pain in.
Mm.
It's like putting the
Yeah.
time in, you gotta
Pain
put the
in.
pain in. Like,
Yeah.
if you just
The
put the
pain
pain
in.
in on it, like, it's always gonna pay off if you put the pain in. There's absolutely nothing. There's nothing that can get in between me and what I want to do. Nothing. It does not matter. And when you push me to the limit, you will see, like, there's nothing.
You don't care what kind of walls are there.
It
You'll
has
figure
to
out.
be-
You
it
figure
has-
out. Go through these walls,
Look,
right? Or what?
It
Yeah.
has to be death. That's the only thing that it could be, because I just don't take no. Like, I don't take it. If it's me and the goal, I'm not taking no. I'm not taking it. And I'm taking everybody who's with me. That's how it's gonna work. I start to do it for other people, where I'm literally pushing my friend who I believe in, right? Like I said, we're all going, so everybody's got a role. I'm literally pushing them like to the edge. And I'm like, nah, like you're going to face it right now. Because my role in everything that I do with, you know, the creative collective, the group, with, you know, clothes, everything, music, everything, is I'm willing to stand right there on that edge and show you exactly like what it feels like for me to be right there. How bad it hurts to be right there. How scary it is. All of that. All of that. I'm willing to do that. I always give people the analogy. It's like, yo, what if you meet a chick, or what if you meet a partner and you get butt naked and they keep all their clothes on, but they're like, nah, let's keep going. You're like, wait a minute, nah, like this ain't right. Like I'm butt naked. You seeing everything. You still got all your clothes on. Like, I don't feel like this. There's no reciprocity here. Like, I don't feel equal, right? And I'm like, I push the person into the zone where I'm like, no. There's a reason why you here. Show me why you here right now. Show me. Like, show me. Like, because the reason why I became attracted to you in the first place is because you had something that blew my mind. And I'm like, and it's in there. And if you don't want to unlock it, the only person you're going to play is yourself. Because if you want to talk about God and whatever, if you're religious or you're not religious, God is waiting for their unfoldment in you. So if you don't do it, you just playing yourself. You playing yourself.
What? Okay. I knew she had to be here for this. So what I'll say, that was beautiful, by the way, but I'll say this. So there's this like amazing author named, I think his name's Abraham Joshua Heschel. That's his name. Damn. And he said, everybody's talking about like, you know, man in search of God. And he goes, I think God is in search of man. Like he's giving us these things. He's like, yo, are you gonna, it's like many are called and few choose. Yeah. You feel me? Because it takes being on the, but it takes being on the cliff's edge to follow your divine assignment. I feel like it's scary.
Uncomfortability.
It's uncomfortable. You gotta constantly put yourself in discomfort, right?
Extreme.
Yeah.
Extreme. If you're not willing to go to the extreme limit of that feeling, then you're not willing to get the extreme benefit or reap the blessing.
It'll just stay untapped potential.
It'll just sit there.
Yeah. But if you're willing and you throw yourself into that fire day after day after day, you're gonna come out on the other side like fucking.
Like you're talking about, talking about a river, bro. I'm talking about a waterfall, bro. I'm talking about a cascade, bro. I'm talking about like water is falling, like you couldn't survive it if you stood underneath it, like that type of pour. You feel me? Like the flow is nice. Yeah, I like the flow, but I want that like torrential pour down.
That's how it comes to you, right?
I want that. Yeah. And I want other people to hit that too, because I think that people who can match your caliber of energy and your caliber of talent and potential they gravitate towards you. So that means that if you're here with me because you think I'm super dope, that's cool. But like I'm here with you for the same exact reason, and I'm trying to push you to that limit. I'm about to push you to that level if there is, and let you see if there even is a limit. There might not be.
That's powerful.
There might not even be one.
Limit, bro.
You might literally just break through and it could just go forever.
It's crazy.
You feel?
Yeah, amazing.
I don't know how to use it in a different context, but like if you're with somebody who's just being like extremely pussy of their own like ability, like if you're not gonna push them, like just get away from them, because they're basically telling you like, like I'm too scared. Like, don't surround yourself with that. Surround yourself with the people who are like fearless in the pursuit. Like whether they right or wrong, whether they win or fail, they're just gonna keep going. You feel me?
It's like it doesn't matter because I got it.
Like if you see them take it to the chin. If you see somebody get hit like real bad and you're like, damn, you got hit crazy, but they take it to the chin and they get back up, then roll with them. Don't take it. Don't watch the person who takes it and sleeps, and then when they wake up, they let everybody cry for them. Don't go with that person. Don't go with them. Because they want somebody to cry for them. You got to understand just the concept of like yin and yang, all of that, right? So you got to understand, like, if you are in like the deepest, darkest space, that like you kind of have to make it your personal mission to know that on the other side of it, I have to figure out a way to where I can feel this same amount of like positivity as I felt negativity. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's amazing.
It has to even out. It gotta even out somewhere. That's why they say something gotta give, like stuff like that. Like it's gotta even out somewhere. So like, as long as you can stick it out and see just what's on the other side of it, and as long as you have the will to like pull yourself out, no matter how hard it may be, you got to know on the other side, like, it's just that deep. It's equally, if not deeper, on the other side. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm about to. This is crazy.
It's there. It's there. Like, because you're only shown like how far you can go, and on one side to show you how far you can go on the other side. Like, that's what
amazing.
It is.
Damn, that's so good.
These are yes.
Got some gems in the treasure chest.
Right,
gems in the treasure chest. And it's funny, like, Tyler's manager was on the show, and he said that same idea where he's like, he believes the lower you go, you can flip right back to that side.
That's the duality.
Because the earth is in balance.
Yeah, everything's in balance. So like, just as long as you can understand like that's a basic law of like living on earth. Right. Balance. Like balance. Standing on 2 feet. Balance. You know what I mean? Like literally. Weight distributed equally on the left and the right foot.
Preach.
Like, that's balance. You feel me? Like, that's the first thing you learn when you stand up.
Oh my God. All right, we'll bring it home on that. Thank you guys for coming through. This has been amazing. Can you shout out where people can like check in on social media?
My personal page at Chris versus myself. You can also check me out on my brand page. You can type in Last One Left. You'll see a kid with green hair. Or you can type in the name is One Off Projects, the original name. That's the actual Instagram handle.
Let's go. And Wolvie.
Yeah, catch me at DJ Wolvie, WOLVIE.
That's it. We'll see you next episode, guys.
All right.
Rizzy.
Sweet.
Damn.
Fire, man.
Y'all
We
killed
did
it.
it. This shit was a long time in the making.
Damn.
It wasn't that long. Hey, it wasn't that long, bro.